there, fellow hungry travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in the Cayman Islands. Today we're going to talk about what you need to eat when you come here to the Caymans, because this island, this set of islands, has so much great food. Whether you're looking at local food, international food, all kinds of stuff, you can't go wrong eating here in the Caymans. So what I want to do is give you some of the foods you should have and the drinks you should have when you're here. But I got to tell you, when you come to the Cayman Islands, when you're going to eat, when you're going to drink, when you're going to imbibe, you gotta have patience, because this is an island time kind of thing. So just be ready for that, because I see tourists getting upset, and you just gotta realize it takes a little more time. But believe me, when you get the food here, you get the drinks here, it's gonna be so good. So let's start with some of the starters you may have when you come. You know, the appetizers to get you going, right? I think one thing you have to have are the conch fritters. If you're not sure what a conch is, you know the conch shell, like the doo-doo like thing you see, like Aquaman calling for the fish to come help him and all kinds of stuff. I mean, inside is like this little kind of sluggy like thing, and they basically chop it up, fry it up, and there's some dough, make a dough ball out of it, and they make a fritter out of it. Oh my God, it is so good. That's one thing you have to have when you're here. Another thing you can get, especially a great starter, is the coconut shrimp. You know, the coconut and battered shrimp that they fry up, and you just, eat so well. And if it has some like sauce with some Scotch bonnet peppers in it, even better. Now, other kind of starter things you might want to have when you're here are tostones. And tostones, what it is, imagine like a plantain, like kind of like a banana, smashed down, fried, and fried again. And it's almost like a chip, but it's just this fantastic, like, you put a little salt on it, it's great. You can do tostones. If you drink with your buddies, you can actually just get plantain chips, like, imagine potato chips made out of plantains. Yeah, you can get that when you're here. I mean, there's a lot of really good starter things you want to grab. And I think another kind of like, it's not necessarily a starter, but maybe a snack, or especially a cheap snack you want to get when you're here, when you're like, man, it's expensive to eat here, I need to save some money, are the patties. Now you can get like, there'll be beef patties or chicken patties. I would say it's like a hand pie if you're from the US, or maybe like an empanada if you're from South America. It's like their version of it. It looks a little orange on the outside because there's a little spice to it. And inside it's going to be either like a beef ragu in there, or a chicken ragu, like a chicken compote. That's the best way to explain it in there. They're so good, they're affordable, and make a really great treat. And they got a little kick to them too, so just be aware of that if you're going to hand it off to your friends that aren't used to a little bit of spice. Now, another thing you do for starters, or like a smaller plate kind of thing, is get some of the soups that are here. And believe me, the seafood soups, whatever kind they have is gonna be good. I personally like the conch chowder. You can get that, but any kind of stuff you have with seafood and a soup-based kind of thing, really tasty. Usually on the starter menu or the appetizer menu, so the price is a little bit lower, but that's really good. But let's be honest, you're just starting off with the appetizer. You wanna know, Mark, what am I really gonna eat when I'm here? What's gonna get me filled up? Well, one thing I'll tell you is, we're an island, so fish galore. Snapper? Oh yeah, you're gonna have the snapper. But I'll warn you, if you get snapper when you're here, they'll give you the whole snapper, you know, with the tail and the head and everything. So you might want to get the fillet version. Might cost a bit more, you might get a little less fish, but for the effort, it might be worth it. So you got that. Mahi-mahi's great here. The shrimp you can have in here. The scallops, the lobster. Oh my God, Lobby. I mean, if you get the spiny lobster here, the Caribbean spiny lobster, and when it's in season, you can't get it all year round, but when you can get it, those lobster tails that'll come with stuff, oh my goodness, it is amazing. That's some really great stuff there. But I think one of the important things I gotta talk about with the seafood is there are different sauces you can get for it. So if you ever see like a rundown sauce, like, it's rundown mahi-mahi, or rundown, you know, whatever, like the rundown sauce, basically what it is, it's like coconut, milk, spices, and veggies together, but it's just, it is so good. Like, my favorite is the rundown mahi-mahi. Like, that's my go-to one. Now, another really good sauce you might see with the fish is ceviche. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but what you have is different fish, but you have it with it. What it has onions, Scotch bonnet peppers in there, some vinegar. I mean, it's just this really like flavorful sauce that's going in there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if you get sauces with your dishes here, especially with your fish, you might actually even like the sauces better than the fish itself. And even if you have this super fresh fish that's really coming out of the sea, man, you're gonna eat so well. So definitely go for that. But I know some people are like, Mark, I've been here for 5 days. I've had lobster, mahi-mahi, snapper. I've had lobster. I've had to get the conch. Well, can I get some meat kind of stuff? Well, if you're looking at meat when you're here, you'll notice maybe behind me, you'll see some chickens going by. Yeah, chickens. The jerk chicken here, you know, like the spicy jerk seasoning. Now imagine, jerk chicken, it's amazing when you're here. If you go to a place like a barbecue place, they'll have jerk chicken. Jerk pork is also really good. You can get jerk goat. You can get jerk seasoning and sausage. Heck, I had jerk seasoning on a burger. I mean, there's all kinds of like jerk seasoning kind of stuff you can get when you're here for the meat stuff, but also ribs. Jerked ribs or just ribs when you're here, you can have that. So there's a lot of different really tasty things you can get for your main courses. And they have a lot of really great like side dishes to go along with it. You might get fry bread when you're here. Like you may get fritters for like a side, which is like basically like fried dough balls. I will warn you, well, they bring them out. They bring this fruit out fresh when you're here and they're gonna be super hot. Make sure you maybe peel them apart if you don't wanna like melt your mouth on the inside when they come in. Other really great stuff you're gonna see on the side is rice and peas or beans and rice basically, but let's say mostly rice with some beans in there, you can get that. There's also rice with spinach you might see, which is really tasty. Jocelyn loved that one. Also, sweet potatoes. I saw sweet potatoes a lot on the menus here, whether it's from sweet potato fries or roasted sweet potatoes or sweet potatoes by themselves. I mean, they're just all kinds of like sweet potatoes that might pop up as a side dish as well. And what's cool is when you go to the restaurants, they'll usually have like, hey, here's what we are gonna serve it with, but if you wanna ask for something different, you can, because I wanna tell you this, the service here in the Cayman Islands, though it's a bit slow, super friendly, super helpful. So if you ask them, hey, what should I get? They're gonna tell you, hey, this is what tourists usually like, here's what the locals eat, and here's what I like. So they're literally asking for like those three things. Hey, what do the tourists eat? What do you like? And what's the most popular dish here? They're gonna give you different stuff and explain why. That's how I got in Tuca, the Australian Caribbean mixed place on the East End. That's how I got their bouillabaisse, which was unbelievable. It's how I ended up getting the jerk chicken in another place, and like, oh, go for the jerk chicken over the pork. This is our specialty here. They're gonna tell you these things. You're gonna go, oh my gosh. I mean, that's how I found out about rundown sauce, like rundown with the fish. I'm like, oh, the rundown mahi-mahi. Thank you, Peppers, for helping me out. You have that really helpfulness in the service industry here. And no matter where you're going, you're gonna notice there's gonna be hot sauce on the table. And usually the hot sauce is from a Scotch bonnet pepper. And I'll tell you, a Scotch bonnet pepper, according to the Scoville ratings, is actually hotter than jalapeno, but it's hotter, but it's actually, I think, more flavorful, so you actually get some really good flavor with it. So it is spicy, but it does taste really good. But if I kind of go back to other kind of starter dishes that you should try when you're here, one, stewed oxtail. Oh my gosh, the oxtail here is so good. Or you get the curry goat, which is also really good. But I will tell you, these kind of come in like a stew thing, and they're literally chopped up, so there could be splinters of bone. So if you're going to feed it to your little kids, or you're gonna feed it to yourself, and you're not paying attention, you could be like, bone. So do be careful with it. So you might get a little messy when you are eating it, but the oxtail and the curry goat are so worth it. Now, another popular dish is ackee and saltfish, which when you see it looks like scrambled eggs, basically. It's more of a breakfast thing, but sometimes you'll see it on the menus. I'm not a fan, so I'm not really gonna recommend it, but it is something that is popular here. You can have it here, you see it on the menus. The national dish here is actually turtle stew. And when you go and swim with the turtles, all of a sudden you don't really feel like having turtle stew anymore, but that is the national dish. And you don't find it very often anymore, but you can still find it if you look for it. Now, if you're looking for dessert, they've got some really good desserts here. And one thing I realize is since this is part of the British Empire, was part of the British Empire at one time, you'll see when you will hold the money, you realize, oh yes, it's still part of like the British thing. Sticky toffee pudding, seriously, some of the best sticky toffee pudding in the world here. Amazing sticky toffee pudding. Something more local based that you're like, oh, that's something to get back home. Cassava cake, and it's made out of cassava. They grate up the cassava and make this cake. It's very dense. It's kind of like if you took a sponge, filled it with water, then smushed it down and then ate it. It's like that consistency, but it's really, really good. And then of course we're in the Caribbean, so you can't go wrong with rum cake, but I will tell you, if you're gonna be driving around, rum cake really has a serious amount of rum, so maybe don't have a drink in rum cake because then you can't drive. So kind of plan that out when it comes to eating. I think planning out eating is important. Realize here in the Cayman Islands, lunch is the big meal of the day. That's where you have the big meal. Dinner is a little bit like, it's a smaller meal out there, so do be aware of that. So don't be surprised if you're going out with friends here. They're like, let's have a lunch together. That's a little bit more of a big deal than dinner time. Breakfast, you can grab stuff, porridge. You'll see if you're in one of the resorts, they're gonna have all the buffet stuff when you are there. But you do have that. But I think another thing I need to talk about here are the drinks when you come. And when you're thinking about the drinks here, coconut water. If you've ever had coconut water, imagine like creamy water with a slight hint of coconut flavor. It's actually really good, super refreshing. Think of it as more of a nature's Gatorade, and you'll be okay. Other things, if you're looking at alcoholic beverages, there's lots of local beers you can get here. K-Brew is probably the biggest one that you want to try when you're here. There's different styles. You also get like white tip. There's all kinds of them out there. You can get your international brews as well. In terms of alcohol, they love the cocktails here. The restaurants you go to, they're all gonna have cocktail menus that you're gonna enjoy, but obviously rum is the big thing. So rum punch is gonna be the thing that gives you a punch of rum, but you're gonna enjoy it. So you should try that. There's some rum factories. You can do rum tours if you are here to try that. And if you're not looking for alcoholic beverages, remember here in the Cayman Islands, you can drink the tap water. It is okay. And when you go to the restaurant, they're gonna ask you, hey, what kind of water do you want? Is tap water okay? Or do you want bottled water? You can do the tap water, ice water, you'll be just fine. Another thing I think is important when you're at the restaurant, gratuity, tipping. You do tip here. However, you'll notice, make sure you look on your bill to see if, in the itemized bills, if the gratuity is already included. A lot of places we've gone to, they already included the 15% or 18% gratuity, so I didn't have to leave any more tip. If you want to, you can, but be careful because you might already have the gratuity and then you add on another 20% and all of a sudden, wow, that's a lot of tip right there. So do be aware of that. Some places they don't put the gratuity on, so you have to write it in or you tell them that. So do be aware of it. And when you're going out to eat, credit cards accepted most everywhere here. I mean, this is a huge financial center, so credit cards are fine. Even American Express have had no problem paying with that. Visa, MasterCard, no big deal. And I think if we look at eating out here, realize when you come to the Caymans, this is islands. This is island time. Outside eating is a thing, so do expect to eat outside. It's going to be normal. If you're here in the summertime when it's super, super hot, maybe it has to be inside where there's some AC or where there's a breeze, because it can get a little warm when you're trying to eat, but it's going to be a lot of outdoor eating when you are here, which is super nice. And the thing is, when you're coming here, you need to realize there's actually some seasonal foods. Like, remember the spiny lobster? It's not always available out there. Breadfruit is not always available out there. So there's some seasonal things, and you might see it on the menu, but realize they're not changing the menu every season. They just have it on there, and they'll just let you know, oh, that we don't have that this season. Like when I'm here now, breadfruit isn't available, so I'm like, dang it, but the lobster is, so it all works out. And when you are here, since there's so many international people that have moved here, I mean, literally like over half the people that live here are actually not from here, so you have tons of great international restaurants. We were at Baccara by the yacht club, and I mean, it was unbelievable. Like their Italian food, like I had bigoli with duck sauce that I love from Vicenza, and it was like, I'm like, dude, this is like legit. Like in other places we went, it was like legit international food. Like we went to the check-in, which is like a bar on the side of the road, and they had legit Czech food. So you can get international, you can get the local Caribbean, Cayman kind of stuff. You can get all that when you're here, which is really nice, especially if you come with your family. If the kids are kind of tired of the seafood stuff, you can hook them up with things they miss from home, no problem. But the thing is, when you're driving around the island, remember Georgetown and the 7 Mile Beach, that's where there's tons of restaurants along that side. But once you go to the south part of the island, you go to the east end, there's not as many. So it might be like a place on the side of the road you pull off to grab a bite there, because there's not always options on that far side. So just be aware of that. And the thing is, if you're doing a self-stay, like your self-catering stay, like at an apartment or a house or a cottage or whatever, there's plenty of grocery stores around the island to stock up on, so you can get food there and cook at home, no problem. All right, so what's your favorite thing to eat or drink when you come here? Is it a swanky, which is basically like a limeade kind of thing, or do you like having the local beers or the local rums, or maybe you're just like, Mark, I'm sticking with the Conch fritters and ice water because I'm looking out for my health? Let me know in the comments below, and help other travelers enjoy the fantastic food and the fantastic people here in the Cayman Islands. Bye.